Shalom, Israel. We are the I and General Yahan. So all my blacks, Hispanics, and Latinos of Native First thing and foremost, I'd like to have a conversation with you. I'm asking y'all before. I know a lot of y'all wonder why, and a lot of people don't understand why we call ourselves the people. Well, first thing first, I think we need to understand exactly what is an Israelite. And get to understanding what's the history of Israelites. One of the first questions I like to present here. When you ask a black man about his history, it stops at slavery. Well, during slavery of us before slavery. Before slavery, why is no recorded history? I'm asking y'all, since y'all have a problem with what the Israelites say, or y'all, I'm asking y'all a question today. Who were we before we were slaves? History. We're going to do history today. We're going to go in here. This magazine is from 1968. So the things I'm going to read, why I'm going to read you out of this magazine and other history is because history again. What do I mean by that? They saying the original Egyptian folks. That's what they're saying out here in public now. But see, what you don't know is when we speak to go back and get this. Now, first thing we need to understand is the Bible. Is the Bible has anything to do with religion? And see, I think that's what is about religion. The Bible has nothing to do with religion. The Bible existed. So now I think we need to understand what's the definition of the word. The word Bible is derived through a Latin and from Greek. The word Bible just means a collective of books. It has nothing to do with religion. Or it said the word Bible comes from the Latin word biblia, Greek word biblia, which means the books. The Greek's word ta, Phoenician port city of Gebel, which the Greeks call Babel. The export of papyrus, which was used for the writing. The word Bible specifically referred to as books. The Bible are from the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Hebrew and the Torah is made up of the Torah, which is 5 books of Moses. See, when you read the this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Religion crazy is a lot of people don't even know what's the definition of the word Bible. They think when you pick up the Bible, you're talking about Bible. has nothing to do with revival. I want y'all to use common sense. If religion was in the Baptist, whatever religion was in the Bible, that's the religion. The Bible religion was given to us during slavery. Now, let me read to you the definition. It say King James, the king. The crown passed to James I, who had been king of Scotland for 37 years. Of England authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the scholars of that day were divided into 6 groups. 3 2 of the groups met at Oxford and 2 at Cambridge, and 2 essentially its task, its work was submitted to 12 men, 2 from each at a general meeting of each company. In case of specific difficulty or revise were consulted. So now, Hebrew and Greek. The Jehovah's Witness Bible wasn't. A lot of these new King wasn't. The Ethiopian Bible wasn't. All these Bibles that was created dictionary to let you know that we study out the King James Bible because the scriptures out the Bible. So now let's get to the meat at hand. Why do we say history? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to the Bible, then I'm going to take you to history. Because it just told you the Bible is a collective of books, a collective of records. Now you got the so the Israelites. They mentioned over 2,500 times in the Bible. The word Gentile in the Old Testament, Gentile just means nation. Look it up. It's not a race of people. It means we say we the Israelites of this Bible. Like I said, I'm going to take you from the Bible and I'm going to take you to history. Ham. Who is Ham? Well, Ham will be the forefather of the African. All the scholars say, not what a Christian pastor was taught in the theologian school. We're going to go to the book of Ham. I have it highlighted, right? Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born not because the Garden of Eden. When you go to read Genesis in chapter 1, it tells the reason why we all come from Adam and Eve, you have to go to Genesis 5. Why? Because everybody that was in the garden died during the flood. Everybody died. Think for a minute. Everybody died in the flood. So a wife, these will be the forefather of many nations. This is why we all Adam and Eve, not because Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. There's no verse in the Bible that said. And how do I know? Because this is a history book, my history book. It say Ham, the youngest before the flood, one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He was of the dark races. Let's keep reading. but not the Negro. Of all the dark races, but not the Negroes. So what? Let's stop. I want you to think for a minute. Churches said that Ham was cursed. Ham was never cursed in the Bible. That's not in here. In fact, it tells you that we didn't even come from Ham. People. This ain't a bite. This is a scholarship. Is breaking down actually what's in these scriptures. So let's keep going. Go back down for you. It say, Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born 96 years before the dark races, not the Negroes. Ethiopians, Africans, Libyans, Africans, and Canaan. Scholars know that you're not an African. This is what I always like to ask my people. This is what y'all should be doing. Y'all can label yourself as African Americans. Google, when did that call, right? You know that continent had like 7 different names before it was called. Long before that continent was called Africa. A lot of y'all don't. Y'all don't go try to research that, say we this. The Bible dictionary tell you, Nick. This is what Kanye West was trying to tell you. This was Kyrie trying to tell you. This was what Floyd Mayweather. When they come out and say this, they say, shut up. You better shut your mouth. You better not wake these niggas up. Came over here. That's my question. We had a culture. We had. Why are we the only race of people? Think about this. Why is our race? Y'all ask yourself that question. Why is it so important to have our history? Ain't Africans. Don't nobody know. We know we was what was going to happen to the children of Israel. So now let's go to the Bible. We're going to start off with the Bible now. We're going to start off with verse 1. The words which Moses spoke unto all Israel on this side of the Jordan against the Red Sea. So we know in Deuteronomy, he's talking to the children of Israel. We're going to go to a couple of verses in here, and then I'm going to take you to the curses. First, this is why we say we ain't on the same level. In Deuteronomy 7 and 6, and I hear y'all say, Bible say the children of Israel, his chosen people, Negroes, is above. And before y'all say we, according to the FBI reports, look it up. They say we are the most but everybody copy us from the way we wear. You got white women trying to put from our music, our culture. If you can't see that no matter how much they come against us, we still stand. Bible, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. It said, but thou art, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord has unto himself above, not equal, above, not on the same level. Earth. So according to the Most High, he chose a group of people to be over. To Deuteronomy 27, let's get the understanding a little bit of this now. And understand. He said, Moses and the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all So the Most High told the children of Israel, y'all keep all these commandments that I'm commanding. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice. He used possessive pronouns, thy God, thy people. But it shall come to pass that if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, all commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day would take thee. So the Most High told the children of Israel, if you don't keep, he told all out of everybody, if y'all don't keep this, I'm gonna put these. And then we can go through history. We're gonna go to Deuteronomy. We're gonna start reading some of the curses. Just go to Deuteronomy 20. Shall get up above thee very high. That's the non-Israelites. He said they was going to get very high upon you, and you was going to get of Israel this. He's prophesizing something not to happen today, but he's saying if y'all don't do this, this is what's going to happen. The people that's around, he said, and he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not. You ain't gonna lend to them. Let me flip this. In our communities, we don't run nothing. And black folks, they burning up their community. The stores we have, the Arabs own all the stores. All the stores in our neighborhood, the tire shops in our neighborhood, the mom and pop. They sell to us, they lend to us. We don't sell nothing to them, and they don't borrow nothing. They shall lend to him, and he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till they'll be destroyed. To keep his commandments and his statutes. See, y'all don't understand this. These commandments, he didn't give Israel to be his special people. Let me back this up with scripture. I'm going to take y'all to Amos chapter 3. You have to back that up with scripture. So when I tell you something, you can best believe it's in this book. Can't run my mouth. And that comes from the men that's above me. So we're going to hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only. Notice he said earth. When my God talks about the entire planet, he says earth. It's a deep and earth. When my God talking about the entire planet, he gonna say earth, just like earth. You the only people I know. This is what the scriptures just said. And hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families. You know why you don't get the history of the Egyptians in the Bible? They mention why they don't think they book. I remember when a person told me, like, you can't even prove the Egyptians was really the Bible. You can. All you have to do is go to the Egypt's history, and it's called. You're not getting the Egyptians' history in the Bible. You're getting the Israelites' history. Moses, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Moses was an Israelite. This is our history. You know why you can't find your history? You know why they hiding it from you? It's right here. We came out what they call the Middle East. It's called the Fertile Crest. The Middle East created. You will see that whole place they call the Middle East, or what they call, all that was created. Look it up. We do this history, so when we come out, the Bible dictionary told you we wasn't Africans. Africans will tell you we ain't Africans. All these curses shall become moreover, all these curses shall come thee till thou be destroyed. He said, and they shall, and upon thy seed forever. So let me read this again. The Most High said these curses was going to be a sign. This is how you told how God's people was. Who curses? He said these curses, let me read it again. And all they for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So that means the curses was going to follow me. And then when I have, he have a child, the curses was going to fall on him. The Most High said these curses was going to fall, shall be a sign. This is how we know who the children of Israel is. Let's keep going. Thy God, joyfulness and gladness of the heart, and for abundance of all things. Therefore shall sin against thee in hunger. He said, you're going to have to go, you're going to have and thinking like, white man ain't my history. I don't got no history. I'm doing good. You go to him, pay that light bill, and you out. You go to him for food because they control all the stores. To get the supplies. You got to go to him to get the material if you make clothes. We have to. How many hot black folks would be like, well, I don't know. We go to them for everything. The Most High said you was your enemies, which is in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and want of all things. Up neck. Now I know a whole lot of y'all don't know history, but who had a yoke of iron? The white man didn't have yokes of iron around his neck. The Man didn't have yoke iron around his neck. So let me get this straight. The Most High said I was going to have to go to my enemies. Don't know what that means. Look it up. Slavery, we had yokes of iron around our neck for it is mental. So let's keep going. Just keep going with these curses. A yoke around thy neck until ye have destroyed thee. From one end of the earth, as swift as the eagle. He said, I said, when these people come and get y'all and snatch y'all up, you won't even understand what they talking about. To come and get y'all. We ain't gonna understand. We didn't understand these people when they came. We didn't speak the same. Real important that you know your history. You know, see, it's kind of different for me because when I was coming up in, we had them. Mother was with the nation of. A lot of black folks don't know their history. That's why they can't relate to what's going on and do all the with them. You can tell they really don't know, because if they knew and they read Deuteronomy 28 history, then it's going to be hard for you to understand what's talking about. From far upon our tongues that shall not understand. A nation fears continuous or show favor to the young. He said, when these enemies come to get you, they ain't gonna show you. Had my ancestors in their 80s and 90s in cotton fields. They didn't care. They by the time they could start walking and moving, they had them in the fields. Know y'all history, so don't that line because y'all don't. You know how I know y'all don't know y'all history? Because the first time we get everybody went in slavery. Everybody didn't experience the transatlantic slave trade. That's the only slave trade that happened like this. That's because this is dealing with history. Bible, I wanted to show you the definition of the word Bible derived from the word Bible. 2,500 times in this book, but they kicked out the book. This ain't even their book no more. Knowing the Greeks don't have no history in here. The Romans, the Babylonians, people, children of Israel was in them lands. When we ain't in them lands, you made the Most High because they are in the book. So that's the only reason why you hear about an Egyptian. That they can't be Jews. Just think about this. He cannot be ethnically blood related as a. He's an Ethiopian. They are two different nations of people. Now, love child, that's not in the Bible. That's why the Ethiopians probably created which Bible. They created their own Bibles. They got the Jehovah Witness Bible. They creating a book off this book. What I'm reading to you is another question I want to ask y'all before I take off. How already, and King James already translated to English. How do you translate it from that change the words? And once you start changing the words, you change the meanings. This is why when they say Jacob hated Esau, you hear so many people say, well, he didn't hate Esau. He was displeased with Esau. No, he said he hated him. I'm pretty sure that's what the scripture said. But when you do these different translations, now y'all got him saying he was displeased. And that's not translated from the original Hebrew and Greek. What we give you is what's translated. We can go to the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's going to say the same thing. So let's keep reading these curses. He said, and the Lord shall bring a nation against thee, swift as an eagle, thou tongue out. And he said, fiercely, he said they wasn't going to care about our old or our young, because they did. They was using our babies as alligator bait. They used our babies as alligator bait. They took, listen, baby, just fresh baby, throw them in the water and use this. And these are people y'all have so much sympathy for. And that's why I have so much disrespect for the Christian church, because most of the black folks in the Christian church talk about we supposed to love everybody. And I'm talking to you. You don't even love your own people. Y'all be the main ones so quick to say something about your own people, but you tell us how we supposed to love everybody else. Let's keep reading. It said, verse 50, he said, a nation of fierce, already that. Verse, he said, and they shall eat the fruit of. Now, let me jump down. I'm going to jump down to some more. We're going to jump down to 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. Did you hear that? The Most High said, I'm going to scatter the children of Israel. They're going to be in with all people. This is when you get to the New Testament, which y'all don't understand. When y'all see Paul and them going out to all these different nations, what they're doing is they're going to where all the people were scattered. They ain't going to just hook up with different people. They're going to where the Most High has scattered the children of Israel. That's where they're going. He said, let's read it again. And he said, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even until the other. He said, and thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thy fathers nor have known, even wood and stone. So the Most High said, when y'all get scattered and y'all get to dealing with these other nations, y'all gonna start serving other gods. Gods that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they didn't know these guys. The Most High didn't know them. He said wood and stone. What did he mean when he said wood and stone? He talking about that cross, Christianity, and that stone, that carver stone the Muslims march around. These two, he said he don't know them. He don't know Christianity, and he don't know damn thing about our forefathers. Didn't know nothing about Christianity. Didn't even exist in the Bible. So that's another educational level. Nobody in the Bible was a Christian. Jesus Christ was an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Paul was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. John the Baptist was an Israelite. He was a Levite. Nobody in here claimed to be a Christian. Christian didn't even exist. Christianity didn't exist. He said, y'all was going to serve other gods, wood and stone. Wood and stone. Y'all can walk in the church clean as day and see crosses up there when the Most High said don't worship no grave image. But y'all don't care. Y'all tell us we wrong. We actually follow the Bible. Let's keep going. He said, and among all nations shall thou find no ease, neither shall thy soul of the foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart. The Most High say, everywhere y'all go, y'all ain't gonna get no rest. Everywhere y'all go, everywhere y'all step y'all feet at, man, they gonna be on y'all. You know, I be tripping when I see people fly to these different countries and they talk about how racist they was towards him. The Most High said, man, everywhere y'all go, they're gonna look at y'all. Y'all ain't gonna have no rest. Everywhere y'all step foot. He said y'all also was gonna have a trembling heart. You know, I see all these black folks that went out and got gun license. They didn't get gun license for our oppressor. They got gun license to kill their own people. That's that trembling heart. Everywhere you scared now. He gave us a trembling heart, locking the doors and the windows and peeking out and, on some scary stuff. He said, everywhere y'all go, man, y'all gonna be, ain't nobody gonna be feeling y'all. Everywhere y'all go, they're gonna be against y'all. One more time, according to the FBI data, African Americans are the most discriminated people in this country. So let's keep going. He said, a trembling heart and falling eyes and a sorrow mind. Let's keep going, 66. And he said, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night. He said our life was going to lie in doubt. That's what you have, man. Our lives lying in doubt now. You walk to a grocery store, you don't know if a person coming in there to gun the grocery store down, and you don't know what's going on now. You walking around with, in doubt. You don't know. You don't know if this police pull you over. You worried about, you all on Facebook, like on live. I'm on live. I got to make sure I go live in case he shoot me. You know what I mean? Our lives hang in doubt. Let's keep going. And he said, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. This is the question. When in the Bible or when in history did anybody ever go to history in Egypt in ships? Because you do know Egypt means the house of bondage. And I'm going to get you that scripture. He said, I will bring you into Egypt again with ships by the way thereof I spoke unto thee. He's saying, I'm going to send y'all into captivity again on ships. And just like I said it was going to happen, it's going to happen. Let's keep going. And thou shalt see it no more again. Like when I put y'all on them ships and y'all go, y'all ain't going to see y'all homeland again. This is another strike against them people that say they are Jewish. Most High said y'all wasn't going to see y'all land again. Let's keep going. And there, he said, when you get off them ships, there, wherever you at, whether it was in South America, North America, Haiti, Jamaica, let's read what he say. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondsmen and bondswomen, and no man shall free you. So he said, you're going to be sold when you get off them ships for slave men and slave women, and ain't nobody going to save you. So now let's deal with some history now. I want to read to you a few things that's in the Americas. First thing I want to start off with this. It say the African Baptist Church. He said from the outside, the church isn't terribly impressive, but that changed once you step indoors. The interior is beautiful with curves and pews pointing towards the pulpit, a pair of upper balconies for busy days. The church was built by charity and volunteers and efforts of slaves who, as you might imagine, didn't have much extra money or free time. So let's keep reading. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes. He said, this church was founded in 1775. This was when this church was built, in 1775. And let's read what it says. Here it goes. It said, also on the ends of each pulpit, all which were original and dated back hundreds of years, the wavy lines, cursive Hebrew, have been scratched into the wood. So let me just stop for a minute. How did these slaves down in Georgia in the 1700s, how did they know how to write in Hebrew? How did they even know Hebrew? Explain that to me, somebody. If this was in the 1700s, then this had to have been getting passed down. The Most High said, I'm going to put you on ships and scatter y'all to the four corners of the earth. And when you get off them ships, you're going to be sold for slave men and slave women. Let me stop right here. I'm going to keep you right here. We're going to stay right here, but we're jumping in history today, y'all. We're going to do some history. That's what we're going to do. I got another book somewhere around here I'm going to hit y'all with. Let me get this book. Apocrypha. No, please, man. Here you go. Here's another history book. This is called Babylon to Timbuktu. Now, I'm about to read to you out of a history book. I'm taking you from the Bible to history. I'm showing you that it's all the same thing. See, one of the coldest things I ever heard, man, is, well, I can't say, well, white folks, the oppressor. He said that if you wanted to hide something from a black man, you put it in books. What he didn't tell you is black folks picked up these books and started reading them. And just because a lot of y'all don't read these books or do it studying, stop being so quick to speak about something you don't know about. When I didn't know about something, I shut up and I went and did the research. And when I got through reading, searching, and doing the research, I became a member of the ISUPK under General Yohana. That's what I did, because everything I said, like, nigga, this is where you supposed to be. So let's get to this history. He said, in the year of 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of the Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of his people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing the Roman persecution. The slave markets were full of black Jew slaves. Somebody explain that to me. The history telling you this. I got more history. Come on, we're going to keep this history going. What I'm trying to show you is when we speak, we don't speak about religion. We don't even believe in religion. We don't have a religion. We are the people of this book. God gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. He never gave us no religion. We had a culture. It's called a way of life. So now we're going to go to, so I'm going to give y'all some more history. There we go. That one. It say the Ghanaians were the first Portuguese who in 1442 returned with Negro slaves. So this telling you they was doing slave trading on ships before the 1600s. That's why we say the transatlantic slave trade started in the 1400s. It say they purchased Negro slaves instead of Africans. So how did they know in the 1400s that they was buying Negro slaves and not Africans? They knew in the 1400s that it was a difference between Negroes and Africans. They knew that. You know why? Because let me show you. On this map right here, if you can see the top of it, you'll see Negro land. This is Negro land on this map. What y'all don't know is Negro land used to sit over there in that continent that was called Africa. But let me give y'all some more history from this book. This magazine was published in 1968. We have to keep all these type of magazines and books because they try to lie about history so much. You got Caucasians now saying the original Egyptians was white folks. This is something crazy. But when you look at this map, I'm going to show you something when you're looking at this map. You have to see it right here. It's right here. When you look at it right here, It's going to say Kingdom of Judah. This is an ancient map, and this place set in Africa. Now, I told you, the scholars say we ain't Africans. I just read to you what the explorers say. They was taking Negro slaves, not Africans. I'm showing you an ancient map. This place called Negro land actually set over there in the continent of Africa. If you got a phone, pull your phone out and say Negro land with the Kingdom of Judah, and you're going to see it pop up. Right up under this map, you're going to see Slave Coast. So they're telling you this was also the slave coast where they were taking these slaves from. They're telling you they're taking these slaves from this place. You know, it say before black people were colonized by Europeans, we were known as members. This is the whole skit right here, and I'm gonna read it to you. It say before black people were colonized by Europeans, we were known as members of the tribe of Judah. Do you know why they got this on the map, the Kingdom of Judah on this map? Is because all the Negroes who were also took in slavery said they was from the kingdom, the house of Judah. All the Negroes was claiming. This is history. It has nothing to do with everything I'm reading to you is history, and I want to back the history up with the Bible. This is why we call ourselves the Israelites. This is why we call ourselves the Jews. Every time I ask a black folk, what was our heritage before we came over here? Nobody know. Who was we before we became slaves? Nobody know. So the origin of us was we was just slaves. Come on, man, use your common sense. What is it y'all trying to have? We doing all the research. We can come up in here with this research. So now let me take you to an old school magazine. Let me find these pages. I had to order this. I had to make sure they ordered this because they was trying to take this off the market. This is how bad these people are actually hiding history. This is why when we come out and to wake our people up, like we do all the studying for y'all. All y'all got to do is get down and y'all can learn this yourself. I would want to know who I was. Look up, why is America called America? Do you know America is named after an Italian map maker? Like we actually run around here calling ourselves the descendants of two white men, Africa and America. Like I said in the beginning of this conversation, that continent, Google this. How many names did that continent of Africa have before it was called Africa? And it's going to tell you that continent was named and we existed prior to. So let me keep going. Okay, let me go. I like to keep y'all up on this history, man. This is what we spend our days doing. We have to study throughout the week. So now let me start this off. This is what I'm reading. This is what was published in 1968. It's saying the ancient Egyptian did not claim formal desert boundaries from his land, but was concerned in maintaining trading routes in the key outposts. To him, Egypt compromised the Nile Valley, which he called Kemi, the land, the black land. For centuries, the southern frontier of Egypt and Aswan, and from there to the Nile runs about 750 miles. Now notice they was calling Egypt Kemi, which means the land of black. I always wonder how all these people trying to say the real Egyptians was white folks. Now that's the part that blow my mind. How is they white and they even telling you this? So when you get to doing all this, when you get to doing all these different researches and the different magazines we got so much. Listen, these are the people that was on the wall of Egypt. These ain't white folks, y'all. They tell y'all aliens built the pyramids. And I hear some of y'all talking about aliens built. Man, we built the pyramids. We built up every nation we was in. They can't figure out how we did it. So they say, man, the alien must have did it. These niggas can't be that smart. That's how they play us, man. I know they couldn't have did that. And now we run around to the aliens built the pyramids. And there's pyramids all over where we was at. Everywhere we go, we built up their nation. We built up the Egyptian nation. We built up the Babylon nation, the Assyrian nation, the Greek nation, the Roman nation. We built this nation up. We built the nation up. It's just like you people don't know y'all history. They tell you the Wright brothers invented the first plane. They don't tell y'all the first person that invented the plane that can fly from here to there was a black man. That one they built wasn't flying nowhere. Wasn't going too much of nowhere. The one that can get you from Dayton to LA, a black man did that. I don't be able to talk to y'all on this laptop if it don't be for a black man. Your phone, a black man. Your GPS, a black woman. Once you start learning your history and learning the things we did, you won't think so small. So when we say, man, we did this, you will know because you'll know your history. But when you don't know your history, and you don't know nothing. And this the sad part. This the part that really hurt me. A lot of our people ain't even trying to find out nothing. They ain't. It'd be so hurtful. Sometimes I only can have conversations like this with my brothers. And I find some intelligent sisters I can sit down and have a conversation with. Outside of that, I got to ask them about Atlanta. What happened on the Atlanta Housewives? They're going to tell me everything. What happened with Plies? They can tell me with everything. What happened on this TV show? They can tell me everything. What that lyric say in that rap song? They can tell me everything. But if I asked them, what was that continent called before it was called Africa? I don't know. When was it named Africa? I don't know. But you're calling yourself an African, though. How is you calling yourself something? Them people over there don't even call themselves Africans. You know, we was out last week, and the little young boy was out. And the first time we asked him, you African? He straightened us. I'm Tanzanian. Like, nigga, I ain't no African. They don't call themselves that over there. They identify with the country they are from. So they call themselves Ugandans, Ethiopians, Nigerians, Kenyans, Tanzanians, Moroccans. That's how they identify. They don't say, I'm African. They don't say that. They don't call themselves that. We call ourselves that because we don't know our identity. We became Africans in 1984. That's when we became Africans. When I was born, let me give some of you older people a history lesson. Any of y'all was born in the 70s, you was a Negro. You wasn't an African. I know a lot of y'all don't know y'all history, so I'm stressing that with you. If you was born in the 70s, you was a Negro. You wasn't an African. African-American term what even existed then. So let's just know that. My great-grandmama and them, they was called colored. So check this out. My grandmama and them was called colored. Me and my mama and them was Negroes. And now my son and them are African-American. We are the only race of people with 3 different races. And don't nobody ask why. We don't even care. Just whatever name they give us, that's what we go with. We are the children of Israel. We are the real Jews. That's why I wanted you to read the definition of the word Bible, to let you know that the Bible has nothing to do with religion. The word Bible derived from the word bibelo, which just means a collective of books, a collective of records. The Israelites are mentioned over 2,500 times in the Bible, yet and still everybody act like they ain't got nothing to do with this book. The word Gentile, let me give you the definition of the word Gentile out this Bible dictionary. I'm glad I got it right here, man, so I can read it to y'all. Listen what it say. And I got it highlined right here, so you won't think I'm saying it. It say, Gentile, it usually Gentile, usually, the reason why I keep saying usually, sometimes I got a deal like that with my people because they didn't dummied us down so much that we can't even think for ourselves. Like they don't have to prove nothing. Whatever they say, y'all just roll with it. But if we say something, you want that black man to prove it. Prove it to me. Y'all don't make them prove nothing. But we don't have no problem with it. I love proving shit. I love that. No, I like to see when a person pick their face up and put it back on. So now let's read what it say. Gentile. Usually it means a non-Israelite people. Why did it say usually it means a non-Israelite people? Because the word Gentile, it means nation. It's not a specific race of people. So when you hear people say Gentiles is non-Israelite, all the scholars just say, man, it usually means a non-Israelite. That means sometimes it can be an Israelite, sometimes it's not an Israelite. You know how when Paul said, you know, you once were a Gentile? Think about this. If I was a white man, can I not be a white man no more if that was a race? So when Paul said you used to be a Gentile, but you ain't a Gentile no more, carried away by idolatry, that's what made them Gentiles. See, in this Bible, when they didn't keep the law, they didn't keep the Passover, or when they didn't keep the commandments, they was kicked out. We looked at them as heathens, Gentiles, what else we call them? Sojourners. We was everything in this Bible. This is who we were. This is why you can't find no history of who we were before we were slaves. I always like to ask black folks that. Who was we before we were slaves? Oh, we was from Africa. That continent wasn't called Africa then. So who was we? And when was that continent called Africa? And you will see a whole lot of black folks that look at, because we go out here in the streets, and when we talk like this and ask some questions, they'll look at us, but they won't stay to get no answers. They'll realize they don't know, and they'll just leave. It's like when I got introduced this truth down in Atlanta, I went back and did my research. I'm that type of guy. I've always been the type of guy that I ain't never been too much of a follower. I'm going to do me. So look at these people. Tell me if these white folks, man, look at their hair. Look at these people down here, man. These are, and this is another thing for all you brothers who like to say, when we bring out the Bible, a man wrote that book. A man wrote every damn book. It's called records. Just like you see these hieroglyphics on the wall, a man did that. Back then, this is why they was keeping records. So when I hear people make that asinine comment, man, a man wrote that book. A man wrote every damn book. A man is writing right now what history take place. It's being recorded and it's also being wrote. So that's some of the most ignorant, dumb thing I ever heard when I hear somebody say, a man wrote that book. A man wrote every book. So now let me keep giving y'all more history. Everything I'm reading to y'all is history. I read to you that the oldest Baptist church right here was built in 1775. It told you the slaves built this church, and inside this church was all Hebrew writing. How did the slaves know Hebrew? Let's read that again one more time. Also, at the ends of each pew, all of which was original, dated back to hundreds of years, the wavy lines of cursive Hebrew have been scratched into the wood. Our guide wasn't able to translate any of the words, but he did tell us that a few Ethiopian tourists have visited and recently instantly recognized it. And apparently it is used in the Jewish communities in Africa. Look at that. How is these slaves? Somebody tell me this. If this was built in 1775, we know the slaves was over there before then. Who taught them Hebrew? Who taught them how to write in Hebrew? They say they didn't even know it was Hebrew until hundreds of years later. They never knew it was Hebrew. This church was also used in the Underground Railroad. So how is these slaves coming through and they seeing this Hebrew, but they don't know what Hebrew is? Our history is in books. Let's keep going. Cherokee or Hebrew. This is something else. This stone was found in the Americas. In the Americas. No. So when I tell y'all, when they say this ancient map right here, see, the way the lands look over there in Africa didn't look like that back then. It didn't look like that. So when you got to go Google, all you got to do is say the Kingdom of Judah, Negro land, 1700s. You have to say the 1700s because you're going to see in the 1800s, they took the Kingdom of Judah off the map. Then going towards the 1900s, Negro land ain't even on the map no more. They got rid of all that. Don't exist no more. So we go to these ancient maps. Ancient. That's what we do. We go to an ancient map. And that's how we get what we talking about. We go to the ancient map. We can go to the ancient and find out in the ancient. Now, here's something else. I hear black folks all the time say, we was indigenous. We was over here already. I'm never disputing that black folks and Native Americans, and a lot of them was referred to as Negroes, was in this country first. We never said that. But let's just be honest. Life didn't derive in here. Life derived somewhere else. We know it derived what we call the Fertile Crest. You know, some people say that's the Garden of Eden, where the Garden of Eden is. Some people call it Africa, or wherever they want to call it. Civilization wasn't created in the Americas. So how did the slaves know Hebrew? It didn't derive in America. It derived across the waters. So how would they know that language? The Bible tells you that we was going to go across the waters. The Bible telling you everything. You just got to know how to be taught, how to read this. Y'all don't read none of the Old Testament. Y'all don't read the Apocrypha. Y'all pick up a book in the New Testament and think y'all know what the hell going on in this book, and y'all don't. So let me keep reading. It say the Back Creek stone was professionally encaved in 1889 from an undistributed burial mound in East Tennessee. He said the director of the Progress, Thomas, initially declared that this curious inscription on the stone beyond question, letters of the Cherokee alphabet. So when they found this stone in the 1800s, right here in the Americas, they say this Cherokee. Oh yeah, that's Cherokee, right? Let's keep going. In 1960, though, Matarez or Corey Abu both noticed that the inscriptions were, it said, inverted from Thomas orientation to an above paragraph. Instead, it appeared to be ancient Semitic. The late Semitic languages of the scholars confirmed that it is Semitic and specifically Paleo-Hebrew of approximately of the 1st or 2nd century AD, according to him. The first 5 letters, 2 to the left of the common shape of the word derived reads right to left, meaning from right to left, or Judah. He noted that the broken letter on this far left is consistent with Neum, in which case these words would be of Judeans. Hebrew scholars, Robert, confirmed that the Gordon reading of the longer words identified the second letter of a shorter word himself of the first proposed of the first letter. In Paleo-Hebrew is when we be talking Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah, Abanawa, Bashamaya, Kodash, Haya. Them people over there don't speak Hebrew. They speak Yiddish. The language they talking on here. Now ask yourself this question, people. How is this stone that was wrote in Hebrew that they thought that the Cherokee Indians wrote in Cherokee, but it said it was Paleo-Hebrew? Who taught the Indians Hebrew? Who taught these Indians Hebrew? See, when we say something, we can go into artifacts, history. We know y'all don't know. We know y'all don't know this because this is information they have tried to hide. Let me keep showing you this information. You want to see this? You ever seen a book like this? Undeniable. This is what they got over here in the Russian icons. Let's look at some of these pictures. Let's read what this say. And I'm going to read you this first paragraph. He say, one of the biggest false claims in our present time is that the Egyptians were white. Even though all evidence points to contrary, we can see with our own eyes that Egyptians were not Caucasians. So even in the history books, they tell me Egyptians wasn't Caucasian. But nowadays, right now, what y'all don't know, they are trying to say the original Egyptians was white. See, they just wipe our history out. You know why they just wipe us out? Because we don't stand up and we ain't going to fight and we ain't going to say nothing. We got so many of our black leaders, they'll go along to get along. Well, I'm tired of going along to get along. It's about time we stand up and take rightfully what's owed to us. Even when you look at the hieroglyphics on these walls, these are black folks. You see these stones? This is history I'm showing y'all. This ain't nothing I'm making up. These are the artifacts that's in there. Let's keep going. These are also, they're showing you who built the pyramids. They're showing you. This is a later picture they tried to come up with, but this is the original picture. They're showing you niggas built the pyramids. They put it on the walls who built them. But just because they told you, man, aliens did that. Now niggas like, man, they said the aliens built it. Man, shut up. They can't figure out how we did it. Same way we did open heart surgery. We the one came up that. Blood plasma. We came up with that. Microwave ovens, guide and seek missiles, stoplights, doorknobs, writing paper. That's how we built Egypt. We've been building up everything since we stepped foot on this earth. We've been building. Most High blessed us with these skills. So let's keep going. This picture was in 300 BC. This is an ancient picture of the children of Israel. These are ancient pictures. What I'm showing you is in history books. You know why we always fled to Egypt? You know why we ran to Africa? I read you in the history books. You know why we can run to Africa? We can blend in. Our skin complexion. We can blend in with them. Common sense should tell you if Christ was a white man, how the hell he gonna hide in Egypt? Ancient Egypt was all black. But see, they have to change history to fit their lives. If Egypt was all white people, now you can say, well, that's how Christ was hiding because it was white people in Egypt and he was white. And whole Egypt was white. They have to constantly change history. This is why we have to keep all these books and stuff from earlier years, because they are literally running around here changing history, and our people so dumbfounded. Ain't nobody saying nothing. We the only ones out here fighting against them. And you know what's so sad? When we tell our people, you are God's chosen people, we are the children of Israel, the real Jews. You know what your first thing you hear a black man say? But what about the white people? They don't say, what about the Chinese? What about the African? What about the Arab? The first thing they want to do is save our oppressor. Let me ask you about this. Name me another race of people have did more murder and killing on this planet. They destroyed the ozone layer. They destroying all the way. You can't even drink water up in Michigan. They destroying all the water. They knocking down and killing all the rainforests. Everything these people touch, they destroy. But you can always find somebody to say, all of them ain't bad. I ain't trying to find out who bad or who ain't good. I'm trying to build my people up. You don't even feel that same way about your own people. Let's keep going through this history books. This is another picture. When y'all say David is ruddy, this is ruddy, a reddish brown. I'm going to show you a picture when I was a shorty. I was this same color. My whole head was red too. These pictures right here, this is in Russia. They got these pictures up in Russia. They don't have a white. If you pull up Putin's wall Putin don't have a white Jesus Christ. He don't have a white nothing on his wall. He got all black folks on his wall. He got these pictures. Let's keep going. This is the kingdom of Judah. This is the Judas. This is the kingdom of Judah. This is a picture, they said Christ washing the feet. This picture was painted in the 16th century. See, even when you go back to history and you pick up these books, 14, 15, 16, everybody knew the Jews was black. And they was all referred to as Negroes. That's what the Jews was called. Let me give you one more history lesson. I'm going to take you to Acts 13:1. And I'm going to give you the definition of Acts. Go to Acts 13:1, and I'm going to give you this word. It's about almost time. I'm pressed for time because I got to get up out of here. Acts 13:1. It said here, it said, and there, now there was a church that was at Antioch, certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon that were called Niger. Now, what is that word Niger? Let's look that word up. Here it is. Now, I'm going to let you hear how they pronounce it.
Strong's G 3526. Niger. Niger. Strong's G 3526. Niger.
Now,
Niger.
let me read to you what it means. We were called Negroes, niggers, Niger. I want you to see this with your own eyes. It means black. It means black. So that word in Acts 13:1, when they're talking about these disciples, they were called Nigers. They were black. They were black. It wasn't the Bible telling you this. So when I hear black folks, man, God don't see no color. The children of Israel had a color. It was different shades of brown, whether you like it or not. And I realized my Most High said, everybody ain't going to get this. This ain't for everybody. He picked certain people that he put this into. This is why I'm out here doing this. This wasn't never my thing, but the Most High said it is. I got something else for you. So, nigga, you ain't got no choice. So here I am. You know what I'm saying? And I love every minute of it. Here goes some more pictures from the 14th century of Christ. All these are ancient old pictures. You ain't gonna see none of them over here. You got to go over there to Europe to see these pictures. They ain't gonna let you see no pictures like that over here. Shh. They wish they would let you niggas start thinking for yourself. Boy, they ain't about to show y'all nothing like this. I'm gonna keep showing y'all though. Oh, they just cut the lights out on me, man. I guess that means they telling the nigga, you got to get up out of here. They cut that light off on you. But I just want to give y'all a few more. Even the Pope. You see what the Pope is? He got somebody black behind him. Even the Pope got a black Mary behind him. You won't see none of this over here, though. They ain't going to show y'all nothing like that over here. All these ancient pictures. And these pictures are from the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th, and the 17th century, all throughout Europe and Russia. These are the pictures they have. They don't let you see these pictures over here like that. They want you to think that you less than. Because long as you keep that mind state, you can't get up. So when we say we got to come together, when we tell y'all about keeping the laws, man, listen. This is the only way we're going to get up out of this captivity. I wish I can sit here and show y'all more and more and more because I got so much we can show. But this is the whole point of getting in school and getting into class and learning. Everybody keep talking about they love God, but they don't want to show they love him by studying. God is just a title anyway. His name is Yahweh. Everybody love him till it's time to do his word, keep his word, study his word. Then that love go out the door. You know, everything I'm showing you is history. I ain't giving you I'm showing you history. I told you at the beginning of this conversation that the word Bible just means a collective of books. It derived from the word bibelo. It just means a collective of records. So you have to ask yourself, who is the records of? The Israelites are mentioned over 2,500 times in the Bible, but yet and still, when y'all pick this book up, y'all act like they don't have nothing to do with this book. That just blows my mind. I can't figure that out. I just can't. I'm so glad I wasn't caught up in religion, or I wasn't never no dude stuck in the church, so I can think for myself. So if I read something, I can comprehend what I'm reading. And for all you people that say, I didn't read the Bible 2 or 3 times, it's a difference between reading and comprehending. Reading and comprehending. Just because you read something, that don't mean you comprehended it. Just keeping it in the buck with you. Well, with that, we the ISUPK out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yahanna. To all my Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when I say Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans and Latinos, I'm talking about of Negro or Native American descent. I always have to specify that, because some of you Mexicans that got Spanish descent, you're not one of ours. Just keeping it a buck with you, you know. With that, shalom.